Are you like me? Have you ever wondered that despite our impressive advancements as the human race, that we seem to be increasingly entangled in this web of digital distractions? I mean, the answer to that is simple and it literally lies in the palm of our hands. Smartphones. Where the hell did I put it? Like this one right here. These little pocket sized powerhouses that definitely revolutionized our world. Yet they come with a complete set of challenges that we did not quite comprehend at the time. So I want to take a quick look at these and we'll go through a couple of them. I mean, clearly smartphones, they're a huge significant source of our distractions, and they obviously reduce some productivity. I mean, who hasn't sat there and delayed doing something another 20 minutes, or you were a little longer in the bathroom because you caught doing something on your phone? You got caught in one of these reel loops, or you wind up playing Words with Friends or some other nonsense that everybody does. Or the ceaseless notifications. I mean, these addictive little games they put on there. You know, endless social media feeds that are designed to divert our attention from these crucial tasks that we have to maintain every day. And so, what's a possible solution? I mean, allocate specific times for these features? Or do we install apps on our own phones to limit our screen time? I mean, that's something we should definitely be doing with children. But can us as adults actually control and limit ourselves as well? And it is clearly obvious that they're linked to some serious negative impacts on our mental health. I mean, the constant comparisons on social media, the in your pocket access to cyberbullying and not being able to walk away from it, and the pressure to always be connected definitely takes a toll on your well-being. Now, to combat this, you have to set boundaries, practice digital detox every now and then, shut down, don't access anything. Go away for a weekend and go camping and do not take your phone or any technology with you. Or definitely you got to sit back and prioritize real life face-to-face interactions. Because these smartphones have definitely transformed the way we communicate. They also affected our ability to connect on a deeper level. Face-to-face conversations have been replaced by text messaging and emojis, which leads to a lack of genuine human connection, and it leads to a constant misunderstanding in the objective of what it was said. So to address this, you got to make effort to have meaningful conversations now and then. Offline, engage in activities and foster some real human connections. And then you have all them serious concerns of privacy and security. I mean, with the amount of personal information we store in these devices, it's absolutely imperative that we take the steps to protect ourselves. I mean, it includes using strong passwords, two-factor authentications all the time, and being cautious about what apps you download. And oh man, read these terms of services before you grant them access to the information on your phone. I mean, so while smartphones have undoubtedly brought numerous benefits, I mean, they also come with their fair share of challenges. And by being mindful of our smartphone usage, setting boundaries and prioritizing real life interactions, shake somebody's hand for a change. Then you can navigate the digital world more effectively. You gotta take control. Put down the smartphone. Don't let it control you. You have to control it and your time. We go and we say we're going to limit the screen time of children. But are we, as adults, able to limit ourselves before we get caught up in this and we too lose the ability to function properly out in the real world? Way too many people are stuck behind their screens, whether it's at work or just hanging out at home. I mean, I see it at my own house. Instead of someone getting up and talking to somebody, they text them when they're in the next room instead of walking over and saying hi, ask them how their day was. The one thing I do is we sit down and we have supper together. That's an absolute. And every time, man, my daughter, she sits there and she finishes her food and wants to take off right away. I said, no, you sit down for at least 20 minutes. Tell me about your day. How was work? How was your day in general? Have some conversation, people. Okay, so let's now take a look at a couple of these things. Like one of these things I want to talk about when it comes to phones is strained relationships. I mean, the excessive phone use, it strains the relationships. It dilutes the person's ability for personal interaction, and it'll foster feelings of neglect over time. I mean, the only antidote to this is you have to prioritize that face-to-face communication I keep talking about. Create a phone-free zone or a movie night and put the phones down. Put them away. Don't walk on. I mean, I go on a date night with the woman and we turn our phones off. We do not let them interrupt us. It's for us. It's not about the phone. You got mental health concerns. I mean, the overuse of the smartphones, I mean, particularly social media is definitely triggering an increase in anxiety and depressions and other mental health issues. We see it the most in the younger generations. I mean, and how do you combat this? I mean, you have to do the detox periods, limit the use, where the use of smartphones is completely limited or entirely avoided. It needs to be done. And we'll go again with the privacy risks. I mean, smartphones, they pose privacy and security risks because all the personal information we put, right? I mean, they're susceptible to cyber attacks. Most people don't realize how easily it is to get into somebody's phone. I mean, so you have to regularly update your security settings, change your passwords, use unique passwords, nothing that's linked to you at all. Be cautious and read these terms of services when you're downloading other apps on your phone. And then we have the physical health issues. I mean, we know that prolonged smartphone use will cause physical ailments such as eye strain, text neck as they call it, and disrupted sleep due to the blue light exposure. I mean, you got to sit down and it's known that you put down the phone and everything about 40 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep to let your brain refocus. Regular breaks, maintain good posture and avoid that screen time before bed, like I just said, and it'll help mitigate these problems. And then we have addiction, which a lot of people don't pay attention to, but there is a serious risk of dependency and addiction on these things. Smartphones, they become a crutch. I mean, they make it challenging to seriously disconnect at all. So you have to set boundaries. You got to make them no phone zones and times. You have to set them down and take a break. You have to avoid getting addicted to the technology and that instant gratification for a like or someone hoping to someone else follow you. You can't pay attention to that. And we have the environmental impact, which a lot of people don't consider. Because the production and disposal of these phones, I mean, they deplete resources and they definitely contribute to a ton of electronic waste because everybody has got to get the brand new one. I would postulate that Apple users are the absolute worst because Apple could put out a new phone every 3 months and everyone would buy it and get rid of the old one, which is creating waste. So don't think that you're some cheesy, hippie, tofu-eating, fun-loving weirdo because you're just obsessed with Apple product. No way. I mean, you have to get longer device life cycles. Recycle your old or keep using your phone. I got one phone I've had here for 9 years now. So I'm going to say in conclusion with this, while smartphones have brought us convenience and definitely revolutionized our communication, they pose challenges, which include the distraction and the reduced productivity and the social and relationship issues, mental health concerns, privacy, security, physical health risks, dependency, addiction, the impact on learning and cognitive skills, the environmental impact. However, if we set these boundaries and we use these devices mindfully and properly and make informed choices, we'll navigate these challenges and we'll truly harness the power of smartphones and other technology effectively. And it will not harm us as much anymore. There will always be some, because every time you rely on the technology, it's like you're giving a piece of your soul away. So this is Jack saying until next time, I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye for now, and peace out, everyone.